and welcome to the Mobile Youth Show. You're listening to Graham Brown's, joined as ever by my colleague Freddie Benjamin. Freddie, how are you doing?
Doing well, Graham. And how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Now, Freddie, I've got a question for you. Are
Okay.
young people addicted to technology? Because if we look at the the ad hoc evidence that's out there, people always say young people are on their phones, on the internet, and that's all they do. Are they addicted? Are they happy? What
Well,
do you know?
that's a really important question. I'm going to start with some data here to answer that question. Now, there was a recent study done in the United States, which asked people what they preferred, talking on the phone, on their mobile phones, and interact with people on Facebook, versus talking to people face to face. And 84% of all Americans, this is young and old, they said that they preferred face to face, talking with their friends,
Hmm.
family, teachers, colleagues, rather than any other digital communication. And when we looked at young people within that data set, it was 82% of those preferred, face to face. And it's not just America, really, it's the rest of the world. When the study was conducted in the UK, young people and adults preferred face to face compared to text
Hmm.
messaging, calling on the phones, Facebook, and all the other digital features. And you look at the entire global region, the story is the same. Now, what this research is showing us is that young people, they value face to face more than digital communication, and that they want more of face to face interaction in their life. And I'm
Right.
not trying to say that young people are going to stop using mobile phones altogether. They will still text a lot, and they will send about 100 text messages a day. you know that is what we see them doing. And then leads us to believe that, oh, they're addicted to texting or to technology. But really, they're really using technology a lot because they want technology to enable them to meet someone face to face.
Hmm. So this is an interesting point because when people look at young people and how they use their media, then
Mhm.
they tend to think that technology is the answer, right?
Yeah.
But what you're saying is the data suggests, or no, let me rephrase that, the data strongly says that young people prefer face to face over doing it through technology. So I guess this has implications for those people that are involved with youth at the implementation level. You could be a marketer, you could be an educator, and I guess at some point that questions come up, do we need more technology to make this relevant? Because the challenge is always making it relevant to young people.
Mhm.
And people think, well, like with the voting, to make voting relevant, you've got to make it mobile.
Right.
Well, as we've found, if young people aren't interested in the political process, then making it mobile won't make any difference. So, what kind of implementations will this impact? I mean, let's start, for example, with education.
Definitely. I mean, that's a really interesting field right now. What happens is that, because a lot of the research coming out from market research companies, it shows us, that young people are using technology a lot, and it's convenient, it's easy, they like it. It leads a lot of people to believe that, well, we have a problem here, which is we cannot really effectively reach out to young people, so let's add some more technology to our product or our service. Maybe
Mm.
that's what young people want. Um, Now, there was a study done of about 15,000 students at Concordia University in Montreal, Canada. And this is a really big study, it's sizable. And what the researchers found out was that students preferred their lectures to be delivered face to face rather than through new interactive technology. Now,
Mm.
educators have been trying to make lectures more interesting, the entire education process more interesting. They want it to be more effective, more productive. So they've been adding Facebook groups, Facebook pages, Twitter hashtags, group blogs, Pinterest posts, and you can just name it. They have been trying to add everything. But the answer to a better education for the students does not lie in more technology, but it's much simpler. It's really a better lecture experience for the
Mm.
students. And the same thing applies to marketing or innovation. We are led to believe that a new state-of-the-art feature will win the youth market. It has to be touch
Mm.
screen, it has to be the best camera. But we forget to ask ourselves, how are these new features helping youth interact with each other face to face? But if they're not really helping them do that, then it's not really going to have a major impact on the youth market.
Yeah, that is very thought-provoking, isn't it? Because it's easy to fall into the trap of adding technology to make the medium richer or the education experience better. But I guess what it's doing is by focusing on technology, we're not focusing on ourselves as the storyteller or the presenter or whatever role that we're taking and communicating with youth, right? So if you're a good teacher, adding technology won't make you that much better, often making you worse. And you're saying that that also applies to marketing as it is to any area where young people are involved. I guess really what we should finish with and explain why face-to-face is important, Freddie, and why is face-to-face the cornerstone of communication anyway? Why
Hmm.
can't it be bettered by mobile or Pinterest or Facebook or whatever?
True. I mean, to really answer that question, I would like to, refer to some ethnographic studies we've done in the past with teenagers. And what we found out was that, you know, with teenagers, what they value most, in face-to-face communication is, small signals like, the facial expression, the body language, and the way you're sitting, the intonation in the voice. And these, I guess, almost non-verbal communication methods, they communicated more, emotionally to them, and that helped them nurture relationships, build relationships, make new friends, make the friendships even stronger. And that's what young people value, and that's what face-to-face does so well when compared with other digital communications. Because a text message
Mm.
cannot really relay an emotion, no matter how many emoticons you put in that message.
Mm. And there's a lot of evidence out there to show that the nuts and bolts of our feelings and emotions, you talk about the neurobiology, the chemicals in the brain, are triggered by face-to-face interactions more. And we talked about this at one of our first episodes on the radio show
Yeah,
about measuring oxytocin levels and how those aren't reduced through texting. And oxytocin is a measure of stress in the brain.
yeah,
And, you know, oxytocin and cortisol, sorry, so these are brain chemicals. So when somebody's actually having physical contact or in the same room, stress levels can actually be reduced. So there's
exactly.
actually, there's many levels to it. I mean, you're talking about, the emotion and so on. You talk about the psychological level. It also exists at the biological level as well. Okay, excellent. Freddie, thank you very much for your insights today. That
Thank
really
you.
challenges what we know about young people and technology, but it's great. So you've been listening to Freddie Benjamin on the Mobile Youth Show with Graham Brown.